Alexis Mac Allister, World Cup winner, now Premier League champion, a player of technical brilliance and tactical intelligence. But here's the big question: is he truly world class? In this video, we are diving deep into his journey, role, and impact to give you the full picture. Guys, you decide where he stands amongst the elite. Before the headlines and the trophies, Mac Allister was quietly evolving into one of the most intelligent midfielders in the Premier League at Brighton. At Brighton, under Graham Potter and later Roberto De Zerbi, Mac Allister thrived in a fluid system. He was often deployed as a left-sided central midfielder in a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3 alongside Caicedo. But what made him stand out wasn't just his passing or vision, it was his tactical adaptability. He could drop deep to build play, press high, and drift into pockets between the lines. Brighton relied on him not for flair, but for control. He wasn't flashy, but he was effective. He averaged over 2.3 key passes per 90 minutes, maintaining an 88% passing accuracy, and was among the most press-resistant players in the Premier League for Brighton. That grounding built his football IQ, and it made him a prime target for a top-tier side like Liverpool. When Alexis Mac Allister arrived at Liverpool, it was clear that he wasn't just another piece in a midfield overhaul. He was being given a pivotal role, though one that few had predicted. Klopp thrust him into the number 6 position, a role which had previously been occupied by Fabinho, a player who was known for his physicality and defensive assurance. Mac Allister, in comparison, wasn't as physically imposing, but offered a much more cerebral style of play. Mac Allister's most notable strengths are his technical ability, vision, and composure. His passing accuracy of 86.5% in the Premier League in that season was on par with many of the top midfielders, but what really stood out was his progressive passing ability. Mac Allister averaged 5.5 progressive passes per 90 minutes, a stat that demonstrated his role in driving Liverpool's attack from deep, despite the defensive duties of the number 6. However, the adjustment wasn't without challenges. While Mac Allister's intelligence in positioning and receiving the ball allowed him to maintain composure under pressure, his lack of elite defensive stats did show in high-intensity games. His defensive duels won weren't as high as his more defensive counterparts, and in duels in open play, he wasn't as dominant as Liverpool fans might have hoped from a holding midfielder. Yet, his ability to break up opposition play through interceptions made him a valuable asset for Liverpool's transition game. Though he was not the ideal destroyer, Mac Allister offered something different: control. He wasn't just filling in for Fabinho, he was finding spaces for his teammates and breaking lines with those crucial vertical passes. As the season wore on, he became more adaptable in this deep role. His ability to adjust positioning, drop between the centre-backs to aid build-up, and link with the attacking players allowed him to influence games in a different way. In a season marked by transition, Mac Allister showed adaptability and growth. Even if his role as a number 6 wasn't his most natural, he offered a different dynamic to Liverpool's midfield, but ultimately paved the way for his role under Slot's tactical approach. When Arne Slot took the reins at Liverpool, it became clear that Alexis Mac Allister's role would evolve dramatically. Under Klopp, he had been deployed as a number 6, but Slot's tactical approach unlocked a more dynamic version of Mac Allister, allowing him to express himself more freely in the midfield. One of the standout elements of Mac Allister's role under Slot was the transformation of his involvement in both the offensive and defensive transitions. At the beginning of the season, for the first few months, Slot did rely on Mac Allister to try and help with controlling the tempo in the midfield alongside Ryan Gravenberch and Dominic Szoboszlai. Mac Allister's ability to interpret space and dictate rhythm became a cornerstone of Liverpool's build-up. Defensively, he improved, pressing with purpose, cutting passing lanes and recovering the ball in higher zones. His stats in Slot's system backed it up: increased assists, more progressive passes, and an uptake in successful pressures per 90. More than numbers though, it was his leadership, composure, and tactical clarity that made him irreplaceable. Under Slot, Liverpool became more organised in possession. Mac Allister was often the first receiver after the centre-backs, tasked with scanning and finding the next progression. His press resistance allowed Liverpool to maintain control under pressure, and his ability to play in tight triangles facilitated quicker attacking transitions. He also showed a better defensive work rate, not just in terms of effort, but in positioning and timing. Slot's system emphasised compactness and zonal pressing, which suited Mac Allister's anticipation skills. He became more effective at regaining possession high up the pitch and immediately distributing to attacking outlets. By the end of the season, Mac Allister wasn't just a part of the system, he was one of its key enablers, driving Liverpool's new tactical identity from the inside out. So, as I said, is he world class? Well, the case for Mac Allister is pretty strong. He's won the World Cup. He's now won the Premier League with Liverpool. He's thrived in multiple systems and brings a unique blend of technical and tactical intelligence. He's press resistant, versatile, and a natural leader in midfield. Few players offer his level of adaptability across roles and philosophies. On the flip side, he's not physically dominant, he's not a natural ball winner, and he does lack the explosiveness of players like a Valverde or a Bellingham. His numbers are good, but are they elite? And while consistent, he hasn't always controlled the biggest matches on his own. So where does that leave us? Some will say yes, Mac Allister is world class, the glue in a title winning side. Others may argue he's just below the top bracket, a brilliant system player, but not quite among the very best. The beauty of football is in the debate. So guys, let me know what you think. So guys, as I've asked, what do you think? Is he world class now? Let me know what you guys think, of course, in the comment section. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more deep dives into the world's best players and tactical analysis from across the game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.